Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm Karimah bint Daud, and today we're going to do a sensitive stomach smoothie. This smoothie is really good for when you're fasting Ramadan and you've got a sensitive stomach. So you could have an ulcer, it could be the medication that you're taking, it could be that you ate something bad and your stomach is hurting, maybe you ate too much fried food the night before, your stomach is hurting. This is called a sensitive stomach smoothie, not to be confused with the Miriam smoothie. Okay, I'm going to show you the ingredients, and one particular ingredient which is called slippery elm powder, and I'm telling you about this before Ramadan because you need to get yourself familiar with this powder. Okay, let me show you the ingredients and then we'll talk about the powder. There's a reason I'm doing this in sepia, because I just thought it would be different, and you're already familiar with some of these things. So this is turmeric and cinnamon, right? 1 teaspoon of turmeric and 1 to 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. This is, you don't need to have this. This is maca powder and gotu kola. I take this for particular health reasons, but I will tell you the maca is very good for energy, so you might want to take it, and for people who are training. And the gotu kola, in Ayurvedic it's called Brahmi, it's good for the brain. You might want to take that. This is the slippery elm powder that we're going to put in. I'm going to come back to this. And these are dates that have been soaking the night before. They're still in their cases. I'm just going to show you there's some dates there. But because this is an everyday smoothie, I'm just putting 3 dates into this. Remember that dates have all got about 30 to 40 calories each. And this is some avocado. Here we're going to put into it. We're not putting the seed in, so I'm going to take that out. And some water here. Okay. This is slippery elm and how it comes. Look, slippery elm. Slippery elm. Yeah, and I got this from Neal's yard, which is a herbal shop. And it's a very good quality herbal shop. This is the slippery elm powder. It's a creamy coloured powder, and it is good for lining the stomach. It comes from the inside of a tree. It's a Red Indian, Native American Indian remedy, and it comes from the lining of a tree. And this powder has got no calories, and it's a food as well as a medicine. And what it does in herbal terms, it's called a mucilage. So it goes slimy, a little bit like okra. It's got that slimy quality, and as it goes through the intestine, it heals the intestine. I don't know what is in it, Allahu Alam, I'm not a scientist in that department, but it has something in it that actually heals the stomach as it goes through. And it's got nutrients in it that actually provide nourishment for the body. So it's a healer and it's a food. If you're really desperate, you can just mix it with water. People say you make like a teaspoon of it, put a little bit of milk, make it into a paste, and then warm some milk and then add that to it. But you don't have to. You can mix it with water, or I found out, alhamdulillah, by the grace of Allah, that you can put it in a smoothie, and it's really good when you're fasting. So if you use maybe about 2 dessert spoons or more, and 2 bananas, dates, but soak the dates the night before. So we're going to make that smoothie, but it's not going to be the same quantities because this is just an everyday smoothie, and I'm not fasting today. Okay, we're going to put 1 banana one banana into this, but if I was fasting or for fasting Ramadan, I might put 2 bananas in. Or brothers, if you're trying to keep your weight on, put more. You could put nut milk into it as well. Let me see, where have I got cashews? Oh, those are not cashew nuts. Those are chickpeas. But you can put cashew nuts here. Like if you soak the cashews the night before in water, they're very good to put into this if you want to keep weight on. The cinnamon and the turmeric and the maca and the gotu kola and the slippery elm powder, yeah, and these dates. Let me take the water out of them. We don't want that water that is in them. You can, before you soak them, take the stones out, which is easier sometimes, but you must make sure you take the stones out of the dates before you blend them, because otherwise you will have a mouthful of broken date stones and you're not a camel, so it might not do your teeth very much good. I'm just putting 3 dates into this. So far, calorie wise, we're looking at about 80 calories for the banana and 120 for the date. So already we're up to 220, and this avocado is going to put a load more calories into this. So I think that is everything really. This smoothie makes a very creamy smoothie. This is why it's really good for the stomach when you're fasting. And it's got no milk in it. You could put nut milk in it. As I said, if you soak the avocados. Here we go. Bismillah. Show you something. Sometimes when you're making a smoothie, I mean this is with a handheld blender, but even if you're making a smoothie with a jug blender and it's a bit thick, look, bit thick, and it's not blending the pieces down, what you need to do is add more water. Bismillah. That is enough. I just want to show you, you might be able to see the sort of like sliminess of it. Hold on, the way it drips. Let me see. I can get this. Yeah, you can see a little bit how it comes. There you are, look. That is the mucilage quality of the slippery elm powder. Let me just show you this once again so you remember. Slippery elm, yeah, and I get it from Neal's yard. The one you get in Holland and Barrat is mixed with white flour. I don't use that myself. This is the pure slippery elm, this one. And maybe you can look online as well. And it's not cheap. For about 50 grams, it costs about £8. It costs about £8, but it is worth it. If you've got a stomach problem and you want to fast Ramadan, then Ramadan, this stuff is really the way to go. Bismillah. Let's pour this. Where are we? Here. Bismillah. It's got quite a few bits of avocado because this avocado wasn't really very ripe and I've been trying to ripen it for days. Here, it's sort of the colour of maybe toffee. Like it, so this sepia works quite well actually, but it is kind of this colour that you're seeing on the sepia. It's very, very similar to this colour, like a sort of toffee coffee colour. Let me taste it. Hold on. It's a hadith to drink with your right hand and eat with your right hand. Bismillah. It's nice. It's quite sweet because of the dates. And this is something that will do you good and start you off on your day with Ramadan. I would probably do 2 bananas and some nut milk for the protein, avocado, slippery elm powder and whatever spices you think that you need. Do some research on spices. Cinnamon is an anti-inflammatory, turmeric is an antibiotic, and the other herbs are good for the brain, and maca is really good for energy and stress and when you're training. So the slippery elm powder is really the key if you've got a sensitive stomach. I hope that this has been informative, and I hope that this helps and encourages you to fast during Ramadan. Ramadan, Ramadan, Ramadan. Assalamu alaikum.